Bobby J from Rockaway in the house.
Yeah.
What up?
Do the Rockaway.
So let's everybody know a little history about you. How long you been doing this, and where you from, and all that. Well, we all know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a long story. I mean, I just turned 30. I've been rapping since I'm like 10 years old.
10?
Yeah,
Nice.
man. So this is a labor of love. This is something I've been doing for 20 years at least. You know what I mean? If I didn't love it at this point, I would have quit a long time ago. But yeah, man, I'm from Rockaway, Queens. An area that doesn't really get a lot of. It's either underrepresented or misrepresented a lot in terms of just New York City in general. I've always felt like that's kind of the backdrop to everything I do. Again, I've been recording professionally probably since I'm around 14. That's when I met Kwame. And we've been working together ever since, man. I mean, it's been a long road just to even get to this point. But, I've silently kind of had records out since like 2007. So, I think some people are starting to, realize what I'm doing and getting hip to what I've been doing. But, this is something I've been at for a long, long time. You know what I mean? So, me and Kwame have been working together for forever, man. Pretty much since I got started.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, let's not be get it twisted as the legendary Kwame.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
I mean, how did you even find him, or how did he find you, or how did that even work?
So I went to high school in Queens. I went to school called St. Francis Prep. I met this kid named Anthony, who is a rapper right now. His name's Billy Bang. He's unbelievable. And we just that was kind of like the first place where I really had like a forum to rhyme, because where I grew up, there wasn't anybody doing music, especially hip hop music. So that was like the first time where I really got to meet like-minded people that were like, trying to rap or pursue music. So me and him got real close, and he just so happened to be working with Kwame.
Wow.
So, as we got tight, he basically brought me up to Kwame's studio. I remember this is like right after 9/11. He was living in Harlem, like on like 145th Street, and his whole bedroom was his studio. Like
records,
literally, like there was maybe like a little space where there was a bathroom. His living room was, his whole like 48 track mixer was in his living room.
Nice.
His bedroom had the mic in it with the bed. And his MPC was like, there was no free space to do anything.
To the madness.
So I just remember that vividly, and he kind of took me in and it's almost bugged out when I think about it, because I just remember like at that time, like I wasn't good. I was barely rapping on beat. Like, and I almost think about it now, like, what did this guy even like see in me at that point? Because I was so unpolished. You know what I mean?
Still raw.
So he just, I guess, saw something, and we started working together, and that was kind of like my artist development period, because I just wanted to be the battle rapper, like every line is a metaphor.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Where'd you get that from, though? Like, I mean, who made you think like that? It had to be some artist.
It was
just like the battle, or that whole battle.
It was just like, I think I just came of age at the right point, where I was like 12, 13 years old, and like Napster and all those downloading programs came out. So, I started to, like the first album that really took me over the edge was Ready to Die. That was like my gateway drug, right? And then once I discovered Biggie, I discovered Nas, and I started going back in time. Like, I'm the type of guy, it's like, if you show me something I like I want to know the lineage. I want to know where everything came from. So
respect that.
It was just like I had this drug and I needed more. It's like I just became a junkie. So, once the internet came around and everything was easily accessible, I just started like I discovered Cool G Rap. I discovered Big L. I discovered Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Chino XL. Like,
now, what made you
Pun.
resonate with those guys?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was just like,
crowd right there.
I don't know, man. I think I just started.
Is it the lyricism?
I was hearing it, but I wasn't listening at first, because I think when I first got into rap music, it was like, you like what sounds good. You like the beats and stuff like that. And that was when I was young, like 9 or 10 years old. But then like certain albums just came out. I was like Capital Punishment. I think the Slim Shady LP. And then I was like, wait a minute, like there's a clear difference between the way these guys are rapping and these other guys are rapping. And once I discovered like that multi-syllable, punchline, like even guys like Tretch too, like those guys that just had like that crazy, you know what I mean? Those guys that just had that crazy cadence, the way they flowed on beat, and they jam packed so much stuff into one line.
Yeah. Just
a 12, 13-year-old me just took that and was like, all right, I want more of this. So I think, once I started getting into that, it was like, all right, can I do this? And I started, writing and trying to emulate these guys. And it's like, you sort of learn how to emulate them, and then you eventually learn how to rap, and you kind of branch off into doing your own style, right? And I think that's probably how every rapper learns, right? I mean, I'm sure Nas and all them were listening to Rakim and Big Daddy Kane and Cool G rap and wanting to be like them, and then one day Nas becomes Nas, So it's like, that's pretty much it was just a gateway drug, and then I just went nuts with it.
What was the name of your first rhyme?
I don't even remember.
Why'd you ask that?
I can't even pinpoint the first time I wrote lyrics. I know like around what time it was, but I think I wrote a verse, and it was just like a bunch of like curses and like I'll slap the bitch, and my mom found it. She's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Cause it kind of like
like my mom like found it. She's like,
it helps mold you and shapes you from where you are from that point on. Like cause you start taking the best parts of that rhyme and even incorporate it into other rhymes.
Yeah, man. I was like listening to like a lot of DMX, and like it's like cringeworthy if I think about it now. But
Were you in any crews?
Nah, I mean, the closest thing I had to a crew was probably my friend Anthony that introduced me to Kwame, but I pretty much have been, just a solo artist.
Yeah.
Just, again, because, like, where I grew up, there wasn't people doing music. Like, there wasn't anybody rapping. There wasn't even anybody singing or in bands or DJing. Like, it was just, like, I was, like, the guy in my basement. Like
in Rockaway?
Yeah. Now let's get to that.
I was going to ask you, because you know more about Rockaway than me.
Far Rockaway is almost like its own place, its own borough in some respects. Like there's a couple of sides to Rockaway.
They call it the Rockaways because it encompasses a lot of places, right? So when you say Far Rockaway, I think that's when people get the vision of like Chinks, Stack Bundles.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like that's Arvern, Edgemere, Hamels, and it's weird because it's a small place, right? Like you have kind of like every facet of society like within 5 minutes of each other. Like
really?
You go, you go up to where Reese Park is, and you have $1 million like borderline mansions like on the beach, and then you go 5 minutes in the other direction, you have some of the craziest projects in New York.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like, and it's just, and it's just weird because where I grew up, it's like almost completely homogenous. Like it was like all Irish. Like the people that I grew up, like the average career trajectory for somebody would be like, if you're a girl, you're going to be a teacher or a nurse. If you're a guy, you're going to be like a fireman. You know what I mean? That was like the general thing that, you're going to be like a blue collar worker, work for the city. And there was a crazy like racial divide. You know what I mean? It's like the white people stay over here. The black people stay over here,
and it's like unsaid.
It's like you don't cross paths.
Oh,
you know
really?
What I mean? So for me growing up doing hip hop, it was just weird because like the white people didn't understand it, and I just didn't have any outlet to like get with people. Like the kids that I knew that growing up, they loved hip hop, but they weren't trying to rhyme or do anything like that. So it was just, I was just kind of in my own little world, and then when I got to high school, that's when it was like, all right, let me click up with people and see like who raps in school. And that's like when I really got like my first. That's where I got like my feet wet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
St. Francis Prep is known for a lot of basketball.
Really?
Basketball.
So,
Were you playing sports?
Nah, man, I was a music dude. Like I was trying to. I was trying to do music. Nah, I'm the worst basketball player you've ever seen. Like I'm white man can't jump like to the nth degree, you know what I mean? So I just stick to my lane,
Oh man,
that's what's up.
I mean, we got a couple of joints, man. I like that. Play, I'm kind of. I'm kind of. I really want to hit the new joint too at the same time.
Man, play whatever you want.
Shit, but I like the hometown joint.
We just dropped the video for that. So.
Oh, you did a video for that?
Yeah.
My man Ray Lover's in the building. He's big on the visuals.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll figure it out. But we're gonna probably talk about the hometown joint. That's probably the first joint I'm gonna play tonight.
Okay.
Is, the hometown joint.
Say it all.
And we're gonna come back and talk about that. Talk about a couple of the joints that you got here, and we're gonna pick your brain and talk about all that. What influenced you to make all this? Because I mean, I never heard of. I'm trying to think of anybody that's been from out there. I don't fuck with chicks like that. Did he make a song about
the Far Rockaway? Yeah, and not so much, but he mentions the place, the turf. Of Stacks definitely mentioned the turf.
Yeah, I mean,
Perv represents hard on
like,
out there.
Stack Bundles is definitely like heavily revered out there. You know what I mean? It's like he was, and it's crazy that the two guys that were like closest to like just about to pop off ended up dying. So, you know, it's been a weird place. It's just an unacknowledged part of Queens, and it's weird because I don't even feel like anybody that's from there like really readily identifies with being from Queens. Like, I think people would, before they tell you they're from Queens, they'll tell you I'm from Far Rock. Because
America.
It's just so isolated. You know, it's not the same. It's not, the experience is not even nearly the same as like growing up in Jamaica or Hollis or like these other places, you know.
And it was like what, one way out, one way in when you go on the train. And
there's the A train. Well, it's different now, but it used to just be the A train.
Just one train.
Just one train.
Oh man, get over Mott Avenue. Just
So who are some of the dudes that you listen to now that keeps you like, okay, I got a chance of doing this, or these are dudes that I would love to work with and shit like that? It gotta be somebody you fuck with.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I'm definitely like a stuck in my ways type of guy. Like it takes for a song to reach me. Like I know a lot of people's names, and I don't know their records. Right? Like I'm very in tune with like who's out, who's popular. But for me to like listen to somebody's music, like obviously J. Cole, obviously Kendrick. I love Joyner Lucas.
I don't know that.
Joyner Lucas is
really
phenomenal.
I mean Drake. I like Rock Marciano.
He got a new album out too.
Oh, he does. He just had that show. You know, there was a show that just passed. Or was it this week? It might be this week with him, Jay Electronica, Slick Rick. It's a show, man. It's a good show in the city.
Oh yeah, Dallas Penn's putting that.
Yeah. He was here.
South to Dallas, man.
He was here a couple of months ago.
Shout out Dallas Penn and A King.
Yeah. So,
nice.
Yo, I never met A King. I always wanted to meet him, but I saw him a couple of times in passing when I was fucking with Reggie at Combat and all that. But I never met King. But,
respect.
But yeah, so that's it. You ain't fuck with nobody else.
No, I mean, let me think, man. It's like it's hard for me to go through.
I don't
Jay
understand.
Electronica.
Yeah. Because my thing right now as an MC, I mean, I don't understand the process. I don't mean
Black Thought, like Black Thought.
So how you feel about this super group they're supposed to be putting together?
Who's it? Black Thought, Fonte
and Rhyme Fest.
I mean,
why you say it like that?
I mean,
you. Some people like jingle go.
I don't know, man. I think Black
Thought.
Like
now, ladies.
Ray Love just stepped in the building. What up?
What up, y'all? What up?
Yeah. So,
Omega Sun.
To me, Black Thought's like the nicest ever, man.
Ever?
He might be, man.
Ray Love,
Who that thought?
He might have something to say about
I mean, until I hear a solo album, I can't say that because he has to compete, man. He has to compete.
The EP. That's the EP. But Ray wants he wants a full album.
Nas' last album was.
I want him to compete with the classic albums that I love. That's how I put you in the category.
I think that's what holds him back. It's like he's super lyrical, but he doesn't have like the solo project with like the classic songs on it.
And now he's going to a super group. I'm like, come on, man.
Really? But you know, all right. We're gonna talk about
He hiding, man. He hiding.
No, but the Roots is a musical band.
I get that.
And he's a solo MC, you know, with a dude that comes in once in a while. He is solo.
I think he is the Roots, personally.
But even in groups and duos, we separate the two by who's the best in that group.
Yeah, we do.
So it's still competition at the end of the day.
Oh, it's controversial.
Well,
He's super lyrical, one of the best ever to do it. His Funk Flex freestyle, I stare at that shit like, how could you? So I'm not shitting on him. I'm just saying, when it comes to competing, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, the artwork, the solid project.
Yeah, you got to take in people's body of work.
Yeah, and that's big. That's like, big, man.
Yeah, I say it in the sense of like, if we're just talking like a beat song, somebody you want to hear rap.
Yeah, he smashed everybody.
Yeah, like it's almost like not even an argument. You know what I mean? Like the dude is just unfucking believable.
Yeah. And where he goes in one verse, people don't reach in whole albums.
Yeah. Right.
So the shit is incredible.
I contend Pharaoh Munch. I was all about it. Okay.
I hear you.
Yeah, I know you.
But we can do the Pharaoh Munch thing another time. Yeah. I got bars for Pharaoh too.
Oh, shit.
Right, so let's get to a couple of joints that Bobby J got, and we're going to come back and talk some more shit about it. All right, this is the block, BeatboxRadio.com, and we'll be right back. All right?
Beatbox! Yo, that one joint you got is an anthem?
Which one?
The one, the Far, I forgot the name
Hometown?
of it. Yeah, that's an anthem?
I mean, is it? I don't know, you tell me.
Yeah, I look at it like that. Because I was like, I never heard anybody from Far Rock.
That's why I just sent him.
Scream this shit out for the world.
That's
like,
this
is
where I'm from. I'm trying, man. Like, honestly, like, the visual brings it together because that's what's like. It's so opposite of what you see in like a hip hop video, man. Like just the way Rockaway looks is.
Yeah, I can imagine what it's gonna look like on video.
It's just like, you know, you have the ocean there, you have people surfing. You know what I mean? Like,
really? Right, and even people in the 5 boroughs don't get it.
Like my boy who runs a surfing organization is called the Black Surfing Association. So you know, I have all this crazy footage of him with these kids on surfboards, and then it's like, you know, you're standing on the boardwalk, you look to the right, if it's summertime, you wouldn't even know you're in New York City. Then you look to the left and you see all the typical skyline of New York City. So it's like Rockaway's about juxtaposition. It's all these opposites together, you know what I mean?
It's like you're basically taking this on a tour.
Yeah, it's very strange, man. It's almost hard for me to explain to people that have never been there before, you know what I mean?
Because I know a lot of kids in the 5 boroughs would love to be over there surfing.
Yeah, man.
And it's all about exposure. You don't see nobody from Brownsville going out all the way out there to do it. Since they're there, they got a load of that culture.
Yeah.
So they participate.
It's crazy.
But I would never even think about it. Black kids surfing.
Yo, it's heavy out there. Yo. I don't usually go live on Instagram.
I got it, Bob. My bad.
Nah, it's all good. Yeah, we just did the video for this. It came out last Monday.
Yeah,
so we got like, we had the drone cameras, we have all the.
That's what I was gonna say. People, I don't think everybody even know. Like you said, people in New York don't even know what Rockaway looks like. I really don't. I went out there once.
I tried my best to show like every facet in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Yeah, I'm gonna play my joint next.
That second joint is banging.
Huh?
That second joint is banging.
That's my shit.
He's all Kwame.
Oh, it was Kwame?
I told you that shit sound like somebody who know what they doing.
Yeah. Production, yeah. Alright.
Pleased to meet you. Hi, my name is. Bending corners like I'm Ricky. Had your thotty meet me in the. Now she's popping Molly, smoking with me.
Rockaway Artist Alliance, what's up?
Nikki Titties on.
Big concept, what's up?
What we signed that?
She ripped the bay and let her ride her. Now she's
That bass is crazy, man.
I'm curving
Yeah.
out. Monogamy, you never heard of that. Smashing off that thermostat. People need a first class. Mad, you wanna dab me up, but you probably can't find the courage. If I see you in the street, I greet you with that What's my fucking name?
What's up, Jason?
What's my fucking name?
I like the way the nigga flip that Snoop shit. That's pretty
Jay, cooking like Flay, looking
that's
like
good, nigga.
Dinero in casino. Trends, you better tell Ebro that once his record played every single Friday night. Bobby might go for Bobby night. Bobby this, Bobby that, where's Bobby been? Bobby's been on point, Bobby been. And Bob Doe, oh you think that's not slow? That's politics, no Bob Doe. You comedian to give him Bob Ho, Bob your head. Motherfuckers play Bobby Lee when Bobby hits you. This ain't checkers, this is chess checkmate, Bobby Fischer.
I don't know how to take it out. I don't want to break it.